Detransitioning. Oh Lord, detransitioning is a topic that everybody's talking about and one that I stayed far away from. Detransitioning isn't something I talk much about, and for good reason, because it's not my lane. Detransition isn't something I know a whole lot about. Let me say before we go any further that transition is wonderful, and if you're unhappy with your transition, then detransition is wonderful. It's your body, and you deserve to live in the one you want. In my 63 years as a trans person and my 44 years post-medical transition, I have never known a detransitioner. I've known trans people in New York, Los Angeles, San Diego, Miami, Puerto Rico. No detransitioners. Personally, detransition has never been something that's even crossed my mind. Not for a minute, not for a second, not in my worst situations has it ever crossed my mind to detransition. I did my due diligence and I watched a bunch of detransitioner videos. Here's what I noticed that they all have in common. They blame others, their parents, doctors, anyone and everyone except for themselves. They take little to no responsibility for their own transition. Because trans people during the time when I transitioned didn't expect any support from anyone, we kept it to ourselves. I didn't tell anyone except for the people who were helping me transition. The fact is, nothing was going to stop me from transitioning. I didn't want anyone else's opinion because it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think there's a word to describe how determined I felt. Another thing I noticed is that they expected transition to deliver things that transition doesn't provide. They wanted more than transition. They wanted better. To be better looking, to be better socially, to feel better emotionally. Yes, indeed, that might be the result, but it's certainly not promised. Transition alters your appearance. It won't heal any of your mental illnesses. It won't make you a man, and it won't make you a woman. One thing, as a community, that I don't think we discuss enough is the amount of sacrifice that's required to transition, as well as the sacrifices you're going to make after transition. Every relationship you've ever had or will ever have is going to be impacted by it. Some people will go, some people will stay. Depending on your age, you're going to sacrifice something around your position in society. When we talk about the loss of privilege, the loss of safety, remember when your parents told you that not everyone's going to like you? Well, that takes on a whole new meaning when you transition. Say goodbye to boundaries. People will say, do, and ask outrageous things. Suddenly, there's this burden of having to explain. There's this expectation that you're going to tell them why, how, when. Anytime you go to a new doctor, any professional, for any reason, your being trans is going to be front and center in your mind. Transitions often include surgeries, and surgeries always leave scars. The more surgeries, the more scars. Your scars tell your story. Every surgery, and I mean every surgery, has the risk of complications. Complications often result in revisions. Revisions result in more scars. I bring it up because these transitioners talk a lot about their scars. I wonder why, before getting their first scar, they didn't realize that they weren't ready. Why didn't they realize that maybe medical transition isn't what they want? I doubt their mother forced surgery on them, and I doubt the doctor forced surgery on them. Detransition and detransitioners are worth studying. Because the vast majority of trans people have no desire to detransition, figuring out the commonalities that these people have would be helpful in putting an end to it. Every trans person can tell you the challenges around being trans. Why didn't somebody tell these people before they transitioned? Being trans isn't something that people get swept up in. So why did these people? Transition and living as trans requires a whole lot of courage. Courage isn't the right word because I can never find the right word. When somebody who wants to transition comes and asks me for advice, I always ask them, are you ready to face, live in, grow old in a world full of people that think that you spit in the face of nature? I don't know, maybe if somebody asked them that question before they transitioned, they wouldn't find themselves in the mess they find themselves in.